Welcome to another edition of E-Bible Fellowship's Types and Figures. You know, as we read the Bible, we find that there are some types and figures that have more than one spiritual application, and today we're going to look at an example of this with the word waters, and how waters is used in at least 3 different ways. To start off with, waters can be a type and a figure of the gospel. Now, there are many verses we could go to that would show this, but first let's go to Psalm 105, verse 41, where we read, "He opened the rock, and the waters gushed out. They ran in the dry places like a river." Now, this is referring to when the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness, and the rock here is a type of Christ. Let's read that verse again. "He opened the rock, and the waters gushed out. They ran in the dry places like a river." Now, the water that flows forth and gave life to the people is a representation of the gospel that rushes forth from Christ and was able to bring spiritual life to a sinner when it was the day of salvation. This same picture is in view in Isaiah 55, verse 1, where we read, "Ho, every one that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price." Here, the Lord is speaking to those that He is working in to thirst after His righteousness. Now, secondly, waters can also be a picture of the judgment of God. For instance, when God brought the flood of Noah's day upon the world in Genesis 7, the waters were a picture of His wrath. So we can see how the waters of the flood represent the judgment of God. And also in the book of Exodus, when Pharaoh and the Egyptians drowned in the Red Sea, that was a picture of being under the wrath of God. Thirdly, waters can also represent people. In Isaiah 57:20, God connects the wicked to the waters of a troubled sea. Let's read Isaiah 57:20. "But the wicked are like the troubled sea, when it cannot rest, whose waters cast up mire and dirt." We can see God directly defines waters as people in Revelation 17:1. Revelation 17:1 reads, "And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." Now, the great whore sits or rules upon many waters. The great whore is Babylon, the kingdom of Satan that ruled over the unsaved of the world. And we see that we are correct in that understanding when we read Revelation 17, verse 15. "And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues." Now, in that verse, it mentions peoples, multitude, nations, and tongues. Those are 4 references. 4 points to the universal aspect or worldwide nature of what's in view, and it has to do with the people of all the earth. They are the waters that the whore sitteth upon, or that Satan and his kingdom ruled over when he won the right of conquest over mankind in the Garden of Eden, and especially his rule at the end of the Great Tribulation, when God gave him rule over the unsaved people of the world. So, as you go through the Bible and you encounter the word waters, you can ask, is this water pointing to the gospel, or the judgment of God, or to people? And we do have to pray for wisdom and look carefully at the context to help determine which spiritual picture is in view. Well, we hope you have a better understanding now of some of the spiritual aspects of the word waters that we find in the Bible. You've been listening to E-Bible Fellowship's Types and Figures.